Lagrange Legacy Archives, number 427, Twin Festival Gifts.
It's an ordinary day for little Piaget, a logistics worker. However, being the protagonist in our story is anything but ordinary. The truth is, little Piaget is no longer a little boy, and as he has grown bigger, he now wears a beard-stubbled face. In his role as team captain for intergalactic logistics security, Piaget often travels along with unmanned transport ships. Despite the difficulties of intergalactic transport, he must always remain alert for privateers who lurk in the shadows. If military supplies are being transported, it's even possible for battles to break out over the supplies. While the Twin Festival is underway, Piaget is free of all worries. The Twin Festival celebrates love and harmony, and it is believed that the precious stargates should be reserved for people who love and care for one another at both ends of stargates. As a tradition, the logistics industry refrains from shipping bulk orders during this occasion, and it has been followed earnestly since Stargate L001AB was built. Unlike any other day of the year, Twin Logistics ships have hardly any security guards, as they mostly carry gifts people prepare for their friends and families, which are worthless to privateers. Piaget now works as a fill-in logistics dispatcher in a temporary logistics hub, as residents of star systems throughout the galaxy need to send gifts to distant star systems. It would seem like gifts are flying in like the shooting stars all over the vast universe, one after another, to this hub, Sagittarius 334, before they make their way to the residents throughout the galaxy. It is not uncommon at all for dispatchers to be needed here to take care of requests that the system can't handle automatically. The packages on the assembly line had postmarks alternating in red and white color, making Piaget wonder what gifts were put into them, what their sender looked like, and the star system they were heading to, and last but not least, the special one who receives them. Twin Logistics only had 2 standard parcel sizes, and the palm-sized parcel was by far the more popular of the 2. Usually, it would cost Piaget a whole year's worth of his bread to send such a package through a Lagrange node. Most people, just like Piaget, can't afford to make intergalactic deliveries because of the limited capacity and high maintenance costs of stargates. Only strategic bulk transportation operations can offset the expense only by a nose. But during the Twin Festival, the crisscrossing stargates shipping routes were made available to private logistics companies, reducing the cost of sending a large parcel to the price of a hydroponic vegetable. At the moment, large and small parcels are being sorted into numerous temporary cabins according to their destination and shape on the assembly line. Once these cabins are filled with parcels marked with the unique red and white, warm and cheerful festive postmark of Twin Logistics, then it becomes the cargo ship's duty to harbor them to their destinations. I wonder where all these recipients live. Are they going to end up as lost mail and get piled up in the warehouse after a long journey? With this thought in mind, Piaget stood himself up and opened the warehouse door. A stack of lost mail, twice the height of a person, towered above him in the warehouse. These parcels came here from other distant star systems, but somehow they got lost along their journey and failed to reach their recipients. Taking the list of lost mail out again, Piaget checked each one, hoping to find clues from the recipients' names and addresses to figure out another way to resume their navigation. Croson from space station KT-8321. It's now abandoned from an earlier attack, but I heard that most of its residents took shelter in Karamai. Maybe I can go try my luck there. J.S. Amarabi of Powys. If this person is from the Amarabi family that developed the asteroid belt, I can see if this name rings any bells at the Energy Transportation Department. A mother in Sagittarius 334. Well, for this one, a mother? Piaget was drawn to this simple piece of information on the list. With the tracking number, he found the parcel, which was a plain-looking small package. Piaget scanned the postmark again. Sure enough, the address was Sagittarius 334, and the recipient was Mother. A sigh escaped Piaget's lips as he returned the parcel to the warehouse. It was getting late, and today's shipping list had yet to be verified. During the night, Piaget dreamed of Twin Logistics' postmark turning into two little figures in their relevant colors, red and white. They held hands and jumped around, giggling the entire time. Piaget recalls the time when the grown-ups called him Little Pippi, the time when he still naively believed that little Moros would plant the lost teeth from the children onto asteroids while they were asleep. During the Twin Festival that year, he had just moved to a new space station. A short-haired woman in her red and white uniform walked out of a small carrier that had just docked in the visitor area of the space station. Soon enough, she unloaded a neat pile of gifts, half as tall as her, next to the carrier. The icy metallic sheen on her helmet made her bright and glossy lips stand out even more when she took off her respirator. She must be a princess, thought little Piaget. He watched closely as the princess handed over the parcels with the red and white postmark to his neighbors. His heart pounded furiously, but he wasn't sure whether it was from the excitement of getting a Twin Festival gift or the anticipation of being handed one from the princess. You must be Piaget. The princess smiled brightly at little Piaget, revealing her pearly white teeth. In a daze, Piaget associated her red lips and white teeth with the postmark on the parcel. He accepted the gift timidly without being able to say a single word. Aunt Clara in the city of Antantas had carefully prepared a holiday present for her sister far away. Of course, you can bet there is one for little Piaget as well, her dear nephew. In return, Piaget's mother also had something for the big-eyed and an upturned-nosed cousin of Piaget. She put the present in a teeny-tiny box and handed it to the princess. As Piaget watched, the princess took the box from his mother and wrapped it into an exquisite, beautiful gift ready for this special occasion in the year. The princess took out a compact handheld device she carried every day to scan the info while chatting with the lady, Piaget's mother. Beep. Soon as the device finished its job, a label alternating in red and white color appeared on the package, which was a postmark stamped by the princess. Now the package is ready to set off for its journey. As Piaget looked on, he saw a smirk on the young and angelic face of the princess, with her bright, polished teeth revealing. She said, "You're going to the Antons. I'm so jealous of you." She started to giggle in delight. "Who were you talking to?" asked little Piaget. "I was talking to the little Moros of the Twin Festival." "Where is it?" "Here." She pointed at the red and white postmark on the parcel. Piaget looked at it again and again, and there was nothing but an ordinary electronic postmark. If he had to say one thing about the differences, all he could think of was the color seemed a bit off from the postmarks he usually saw at the port. Every child in the town knew that this red and white postmark belonged to Twin Logistics, a carrier always delivering their Twin Festival gifts. You can't see it just yet. Wait until you turn into an exceptional grown-up. Laughing smugly, the princess looked like she was showing off to Piaget. Piaget opened his eyes, unsure if he was waking up from a memory or a dream. He felt like the red and white postmark was right there, surreally, as well as the smiling lips of the princess. He then decided to look for the small parcel in the warehouse as he got out of bed. It was only possible for civilians to send mail with basic encryption. Even though it's a violation of protocol, If Piaget wanted to, he had just the right tool for decrypting parcel information, the label reader. If this parcel contains more relevant information about this mother, I might be able to locate the recipient and deliver this gift to whoever that is, thought Piaget. I bet the recipient will pardon me for doing this. The last batch of parcels will depart from here by tomorrow, so I must find out who this mother is within today so that it can be on its way tomorrow. With this thought in mind, Piaget stopped hesitating. Beep. Piaget held the device up close and gently scanned the label. All the information started to show on the screen. The sender used a self-service delivery kiosk at Observation Station 2 of Manning Way in Leo Minor. The parcel was delivered here through 8 transit nodes. The parcel contained 2 small exquisite stones along with a handwritten letter. The handwriting belonged to someone so young that it took Piaget some effort to read it. But nowhere in the letter mentioned the name or address of the mother. There were only questions about whether her adventure in Sagittarius went well, whether she found the crispy tart planet, and whether she would return home for the Twin Festival. Piaget reluctantly returned the parcel to the warehouse, and he had to start his day's work. He was running late and still had to double-check the shipment left to ensure all the gifts could be delivered to the recipients, unlike the one he had just returned to the warehouse. Once again, during the night, Piaget dreamed of the red and white little figures holding hands and dancing. I wonder if the princess saw the same Moros. Piaget realized he stumbled across the same dream again. As he watched the 2 figures dancing and laughing, it reminded him of the smile from the princess and how much he envied the people who could see the Moros. He felt that his childhood memories magnified and refined everything about her. Over time, the details became even more vivid than ever before. He remembered the words on the back of her uniform when she turned to leave. Beatrice. He remembered how he was determined to dedicate his life to a demanding job like intergalactic transportation, and how he insisted on participating in the volunteer work of Twin Logistics every year. Anything and everything he did was what he imagined Beatrice would do. All he ever wanted was to grow up and become exceptional, so he could see the Moros and then smile handsomely and proudly back at her. How would she handle it in this situation? Piaget opened his eyes, walked to the window, and took a picture. If the Twin Festival gift never reaches the recipient, at the very least, I can make one of them happy by fulfilling the sender's wish. With this thought in mind, Piaget began to write a letter. Dear KK, Happy Twin Festival. What would a mother say to her child? Piaget paused for a while. I'm doing well here at Sagittarius. This is a beautiful star system. Piaget looked at the photo he had just taken. Beside the void under the sky, some places were dotted with shimmering stars, and rows of ships were under maintenance near an old military outpost. After gathering his thoughts, Piaget decided to go with a huge, crispy tart to cover up the outpost and the fleet. I've found a crispy tart planet, but it isn't ready to be landed on yet. At first glance, he was pleased by the crispy tart planet in the photo, but then he felt it was out of place. So he added other decorations to the photo. Nebulae sparkled brilliantly in space. Colorful planets surrounded mellow stars, and ivory ships swirled around one another like mischievous children. Piaget looked at his work again and was now convinced that this was a beautiful star system. I'm about to set off to another star system to continue my journey. After pausing for a moment, Piaget added, I will send you photos from different star systems, but it is going to take a long, long time for them to get to you. My dear KK, I love you a lot, and I tell this to every star I encounter on my travels. When you see the stars flickering in the distance, remember that they are Mommy's friends, and they miss you always, like I do. Piaget checked the letter over and over again to make sure there weren't any flaws. Finally, he was satisfied with everything and packed the letter for a cross-system communication application. As part of the Twin Festival, civilians can use Stargate's correspondence channels without waiting in line. Messages will spend less time traveling and have a lower chance of being lost if transit nodes are well planned. This was Piaget's forte. Your request to send correspondence to Leo Minor V49 has been received. Please be patient as the delivery is expected to take 23.95 sidereal days. While 23.95 sidereal days was considered a very short time compared to the 3,568 light years between Sagittarius 334 and Leo Minor V49, Piaget felt that the clock had never moved so slowly. He could not help but log into the logistics network with his work account to see if the letter had been delivered. Cross-system communication number 0458782 has been sent to the Lagrange gate communication relay platform of the local star system, and warp transcoding is about to begin. Warp transcoding failed. The letter has been sent to the waiting queue for transcoding later. Piaget kept telling himself it was common for transcoding to fail a few times because the network's warp parameters kept changing. Nothing was out of place. Cross-system communication number 0458782 is undergoing transcoding for the 7th time. The transcoding progress is 47%. Warp transcoding was successful. Number 0458782 has been sent from this star system. The destination is Lyra 137. Cross-system communication number 0458782 is waiting to be relayed at the Lyra 137 communication relay platform. Please wait patiently. Throughout these days, the postmark alternating in red and white colors kept dancing around on his screen every day, as if the figures Piaget saw in his dream were notifying Piaget of the letter's latest status. As the letter was getting closer to Leo Minor day after day, Piaget couldn't help but check its progress time after time. Cross-system communication number 0458782 has reached the Lagrange gate communication relay platform of Leo Minor V49. Performing warp decoding. The current progress is 17%. Total decoding time, 127 hours. The first decoding attempt has failed. Rematching network warp fluctuations. Match found. Decoding. Decoding completed. Cross-system communication number 0458782 will be sent to Observation Station 2 of Manning Way in Leo Minor V49. Those furious, heart-pounding sounds echoed through Piaget's body. It seemed just like the time when little Piaget was anticipating his Twin Festival gifts or waiting for his princess. Your letter has been delivered. Soon after this message, the red and white postmark on the screen started to get bigger, just like a bubble, and Piaget knew it would burst eventually with a pop sound, as a token that just another twin logistics delivery had been completed. Pop. The postmark popped like a bubble. Somehow, it didn't disappear from the screen like it usually did. This time, Piaget actually witnessed the postmark turn into two little figures, a red one followed by a white one, not in his dream, not in his imagination, not anywhere else but right in front of him. They held hands and jumped around on the screen, giggling the whole time. In shock, he stood there as still as a statue. Piaget heard bursts of laughter all around him. On each Twin Festival package, a pair of little figures looked at him with a smile on their faces, a smile he had seen before. Looking at them, the corners of Piaget's beard-stubbled mouth also burst into a smug, handsome smile.